earlier you mentioned that you and Alex both don't usually reference a lot of films when planning your projects. So I guess what are you using as visual references, or is it truly just being made up as you go?
Effectively, it's being made up as we go. Yeah.
Wow.
So as I said, it's really what we want to do is we work off the page, obviously, and those scripts are always incredible, which is a testament to his talent as a writer. But they're never over-explanatory. They're always very, very economical and simple. And that's our basis, as it should be, I think, in filmmaking. So we don't want to pollute that. We want it to be as pure as possible. And we literally do start from scratch. And it's always the big question, It's like, okay, so what does the Dev's cube look like? What does the bear in how does the bear sequence in Annihilation, how does it look? And it's just like we approach it as filmmakers, and we want to be excited by what we're doing, right? So and we want it to feel like it's the first time we've ever done anything like that. So therefore it just sort of happens as we progress, and it happens through conversation. And also, like I say, it helps that we have a sort of shared aesthetic. So there's no need for me or Alex to show each other an image to say, I want it to look like that, because we sort of know how we want it to look. It's just a question of getting there. And again, I'll just come back to what I was saying. Like, really, it's about creating the world. And as soon as we've created the world, everything else falls into place. So if I walk onto the Dev's Cube set, as I did in those first few days, it would just present so many beautiful options as far as visual storytelling is concerned.
Yeah.
So anywhere I looked, I would see something. And I would get very excited at first, and I would say to Alex, "Oh my God, we've got to do this. We have to do this. Look over here. Look at this." And he'd be like, "I know, it's insane, but we need to we can't just do it all in the first week. Then where are we left? But actually, in the end, after 6 weeks, there were still new things presenting themselves constantly. Which was a delight, We never felt like we were repeating ourselves or searching for something that we didn't feel like we hadn't already done. So yeah, it works like that. I think also, any filmmaker will tell you this, is that subconsciously, in filmmaking, you obviously love movies, right? So, and visual referencing or not referencing, but you're attracted to imagery of any kind, whether it's sculpture, painting, or whatever it is. So subconsciously, there's always going to be your mind's going to take in those things. So I'm sure, like for example, in the case of Annihilation, subconsciously we knew, we both seen Tarkovsky's Stalker. We've both seen that movie. We never talked about it, but subconsciously we sensed sometimes when we were out there on location, God, this does feel a bit like that. This story does feel a bit like that, but it wasn't like we want to do a shot like he did it. That seems sort of counterproductive to us.
The references are they're in here somewhere, and you're pulling from things without even making note of it. I think it's an interesting approach. And honestly, I don't think there's ever been anybody else that's come on the show that hasn't said specifically, like, we had a lookbook, or we were referencing these films, or this particular artist or something. And I like where you're coming from with that. That's really unique.